All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode number 3 of our Tuxedo T-Shirt Jacksonville Jaguars Rebuilding Simulation Connected Franchise Series. Hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. Today, we are recapping the 2013 season. This is the third installment of our series. We do 3 updates a season, an opening one where we recap the offseason, a midway point so we can refresh, and then the final video so we can reflect on the season, check out everything, and as you can see here in the standings box, Jaguars finished the season at 3-13. Not an outstanding record, but considering we were 0-8 at the midway point, I think that speaks a lot to the growth of this team down the stretch. We're going to keep with the same pattern as we did last time. We're going to start off with box scores and move on to season stats, followed by Pro Bowl and awards updates, followed by standings, followed by player progression and roster moves. And I'm going to put all that information in the description section. So if you guys want to advance in the video and skip a section, if you like, that's cool. The only thing we're changing is we're omitting the final selection, which is the scouting. We will not have scouting in this video. Reason being, if I advance past the playoffs, I'm worried that I'm going to lose all of this box score information and all these stats until the next time I can scout. So what's going to happen is, next episode, when we recap everything, by the way, I'm going to do the draft in real time for you guys. So I won't pre-record the draft and do commentary over top of it like I do with some of the other elements of the offseason. I will, in fact, do that in real time. So we get real-time commentary, but I'm also going to recap all of the scouting and everything, show you who we're targeting right before that so it's fresh in our minds. I think that'll be a little better. And then also we don't run the risk of losing all of our stats. So here we go. Let's run this through. This was a tight loss to the Tennessee Titans, and not a good game for Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert, who was inconsistent in the first half of the season, not throwing a lot of picks, only had 5 picks in the first 8 games in this game, threw 4. 1 touchdown, 4 picks, just 207 yards, and his completion percentage, as has been typical of him this season, was terrible. 17 of 38 for 44% completion percentage. Jake Locker, not a great game either, was actually worse. I mean, though he didn't throw 4 interceptions. But Chris Johnson ran the ball all over us. Just a 3.9 per yard per carry average, but they gave the ball to him 30 times. They handed it off to Sean Reed 12 times. Again, neither guy with a great average, but hey, that's just what happens. Denard Robinson, Jordan Todman, still worse than the Titans. Not a great game, but still worse than the opponent who didn't have a good game. Massacoy, Wright, and Washington each with 4 catches in this game. Taylor Thompson getting in there with a touchdown. Justin Blackman, Cecil Shorts doing good things in the receiving game. Defensively, guess who? Darrell Washington led the games. led the game in tackles. Linval Joseph had a ridiculous 10 tackles from the defensive tackle position. There was only 1 sack in this one from Mike Martin, defensive tackle for the Tennessee Titans, and the picks went to Verner, McCourty, Brown, and Antoine Blake got the only pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kicking Baronis was 4 for 5, Scobie 1 for 1. Punting Anger, this is the first time all season his punting average was not as good as his opponent's. Brett Kern with a 48.8 average, which is amazing. Brian Anger, 48.1. Still very good. First time he's bested in that regard all season. Returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. On to the box score, as you can see. Passing yards, we won. That's pretty typical for this season. Rushing yards, though, we lost. Again, very typical for this season. We've won the rushing battle just 1 time so far this season. Obviously, the turnovers don't help us, and not being able to control the ground game cost us a lot of time of possession indeed. So we'll go back to the scores, and following that 26-17 loss to the Titans, we got our first win of the season in Arizona to face the Cardinals at Sun Life. Win 34-27, Jags over Cardinals, avoiding what I was worried would be a winless season. And guess who had an outstanding bounce back game? Blaine Gabbert, 356 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He completed 55% of his passes, 32 off 58. It's a ridiculous amount of attempts, but hey, it worked. And he bested Carson Palmer, who had just 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Running the ball, Darren McFadden actually didn't have a terrible game. 21 carries for 72 yards. Granted, Mendenhall and Williams combined for more than that, but Robinson kicked in 16 yards off 4 carries. not awful. Receiving-wise, Justin Blackmon, a great game, 12 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown. Cecil Shorts, 10 for 148. Despite the fact that Shorts has been in and around the top 15 in the NFL and receiving all season, he still has yet to find a touchdown. So 10 games into the season, still looking for that first big score. Fitzgerald had a good game, but Fitzgerald always has good games. That's just the reality of the future Hall of Famer. Defensively, guess who? Darrell Washington led the game in tackles with 14. Sacks, meanwhile, Calais Campbell, Sergio Kindle, and Thaddeus Gibson, each with those 3 for the Cardinals, just 1 for the Jags. Picks, Jonathan Cyprin, rookie sensation, gets 1. Kicking, Josh Scobie was 2 for 2. Jay Feely, 2 for 2. Brian Anger, 44.3. Dave Zastadil, 46. So for the second straight game, Anger loses out on the punting battle, which is something I'm way more excited than really should be. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. On to the box scores now. As you can see, very standard. We lose the rushing battle. We win the passing battle. And this is an unbelievable stat to me. 600 total yards. That is amazing for a single game. And time of possession, we actually win this one. So as you can see, when we commit to the run, we win the game. We win the time of possession. It's good stuff. Good stuff happens. We got to do that. We got to do them more often, you know? Anyways, here we go. Game number 11. We lost to the Texans 31-13. Scorched in this one. Passing, Matt Schaub, great game. Only 143 yards, but 2 touchdowns, no picks. Completed an impressive 68% of his passes. Meanwhile, Gabbard just 50%. 255 yards is decent. 2 touchdowns is nice, but 2 picks, not so nice. Running the ball, Foster ran it all over us, 112 yards. Ben Tate was great as well. Darren McFadden was brutal, has often been the case this year. Blackmon, a great game, 101 yards off 7 catches. Taylor Thompson, very impressive, 6 for 43. Cecil Shorts also kicked in both of our touchdowns. So finally, in Game 11, Cecil Shorts gets his first touchdown. Darrell Washington led the game in tackles. What a huge surprise. Tackles for loss. Linval Joseph had 2. Jesse Williams had 2 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Roy Miller kicking in 1 as well. That's outstanding. Sacks, meanwhile, Antonio Smith has 2 for the Houston Texans. And picks, Brian Cushing, Danielle Manning kicking those in. Kicking-wise, Lawrence Tynes, 1 for 2. Punting the ball, Brian Anger beats out potential future punter Hall of Famer Shane Leckler by a full yard. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. By the way, I will stop for those returns if I see anything amazing, but if I don't, I'm just going to skip over them. Passing yards, we win it again. Rushing yards, we lose it again. Again, fairly standard, and we lose the turnover battle. That's always a recipe for disaster, and sure enough, we lose the time of possession battle as well. Those, to me, are always the biggest and most important stats. And so it can end well if you don't win the turnover battle or the rushing battle. Here we had an amazing game in week number 13, our 12th game of the campaign. It's a win, and it was over the Cleveland Browns, 12-0. Our defense pitches a shutout, really coming into its own, our defense. Blaine Gabbard, a poor game, 171 yards, no touchdowns, but also no picks, which is nice. Completed just 48% of his passes. However, Brandon Whedon had a worse game. 44% of his passes, was sacked 8 times. One pick, no touchdowns, 128 yards. Brutal game from the Browns QB. Darren McFadden, guess what? Actually had a good game. Wow, what a shock. When we can run the ball, we can actually win games. Darren McFadden, 21 carries, 115 yards. Good for a 5.5 yard per carry average. Trent Richardson kicked in 66 yards, but hey, Denard Robinson also effective. 24 yards off 6 carries. Blaine Gabbert, 15 off of 4. Good stuff. Receiving, Justin Blackmon, 5 for 56. Cecil Shorts, 5 for 58. Not a lot of receiving in this game. Not a lot of offense at all. But look at these defensive numbers. Xavier Gooden actually beats out Darrell Washington for the most tackles in this game. Gooden with 15. Washington with 14. Tackles for a loss. Gooden had 5. Why? Because he also kicked in 4 sacks in this one. Rounding up the sacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Darrell Washington had 1. Thaddeus Gibson had 1. Andre Branch had his first after missing the first 8, yes, I was right. The first 8 games of the season with a serious injury. Linval Joseph also with a sack in this one. I should also check out who got that interception just so you guys can take a look. Jonathan Cyprin, rookie sensation. Beautiful. Josh Scobie, 4 for 4, providing all the offense in today's entire game. Punting the ball. Anger, 3 yards. average per punt, better than his opponent, Spencer Lanning. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. And here we go on to the box score. Box score, beautiful. You see all those little yellow triangles on our side. Check it out. We win the rushing battle. We win the turnover battle. I bet you any money, boom, we dominate the time of possession battle, and we win the game. What an amazing recipe for victory. Amazing. Here we go. At home against the Texans, we got shit kicked again, 34-16. Lost to the Texans second time in just a few weeks. Matt Schaub had another great game, 251 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Good, completing 53% of his passes. Blaine Gabbert just 49%, 262 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Running the ball, Aaron Foster ran out all over us again, as did Ben Tate. Darren McFadden was lackluster. Meanwhile, receiving the ball, Justin Blackman, 9 catches, 104 yards. Andre Johnson was unstoppable, 9 for 129, 2 touchdowns. Cecil Short, 7 for 102. Solid game for him defensively. Bryce McCain of the Houston Texans led the way with 12 tackles. Gooden with 10. Darrell Washington with a season-low 6 tackles. 6 tackles, still a good game for most people, but Darrell Washington, that's like half of his normal output. 4 sacks for the Houston Texans in this one, 0 for the Jags. Also, I encourage you guys to check out the PDF I have down below. Again, you guys, I think, know the drill by now. Reason being, it illuminates some of the injuries that we faced this season. One of the reasons we had a lot of sacks down the stretch was because for the final 5 games of the season, Eugene Monroe, franchise left tackle, was out of the games. He was placed on IR, and our backup left tackle, Marcel Jones, as much as he is a nice project, is not really game ready. So we got a few more sacks than we probably otherwise would have down the stretch. Meanwhile, Josh Scobie, 3 for 4. Lawrence Tynes, 2 for 2. Punting the ball, Brian Anger and Shane Leckler tied this time. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. On to the box scores. We have 161 rushing yards for the Houston Texans. That is 4 times what we put out, and we just win the passing game. However, and actually did win the turnover battle in this one, but not enough. Not enough. Even if we did have a tie game at going and a half, 34-39 to 25-15, the time of possession battle in favor of Houston. Just to run down those injuries for you, Eugene Monroe was out with a dislocated elbow. Alvin Bailey, our starting left guard, also was out for the final 5 games of the regular season. And his backup, Will Rackley, was actually out for a while, so we did make 2 roster moves. We'll get to all that in detail in a moment. We had to sign a couple of players just to fill out our roster. Left tackle Jared Gaither and left guard Casey Studdard. Jason Slowey, our center, also missed 3 games for that same patch of time, so we actually had 4 offensive linemen go down in the same game, which is pretty unbelievable. Aside from that, we actually managed to stay pretty healthy aside from that. 5 of our offensive linemen being hurt over the series of the season. But anyways, back to the game here. In a loss against the Buffalo Bills, we had Blaine Gabbert go pass for 298 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. E.J. Manuel, 226, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Completion percentage, Blaine Gabbert, 59%, impressive. E.J. Manuel, just 48%. Running the ball, Fred Jackson, dominant. 16 carries, 113 yards. Darren McFadden, actually decent. 18 carries, 81 yards. Denard Robinson, also decent. 8 carries, 39 yards receiving. Justin Blackman, 8 for 88. Stevie Johnson, 6 for 93. Cecil Shores, 6 for 92. Kicking in touchdowns. Mohamed Massaquoi for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fred Jackson for the Buffalo Bills. Defensively, Manny Lawson, Nigel Bradham, Darrell Washington leading the way in the tackling department. In the sack department, we had Andre Branch, Xavier Gooden, and Billy Wen kicking sacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Interceptions, Demetrius McCray kicked in 1, likely the first of his NFL career. Josh Scobie went 5 for 6 in today's game. Ryan Lindell, 1 for 1. Punting, Kapanos actually beats Brian Anger again. 3 times down the stretch of the season. Come on, buddy. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. Box score, and here we have it. And I apologize. I said that we lost this game We, of course, actually won this game. I did not check the score. Jacksonville Jaguars, this is our third and final win of the season, 35-24. As you can see, we lost the rushing battle, but we didn't get hosed in it, which is pretty impressive. Only lost it by 14 yards. So really more of a draw there. We won the turnover battle. We won the passing yards battle. And check it out. We also won the time of possession battle. Hey, that's how you win the games. That's how you win the games. Good stuff. So at this point, the Jacksonville Jaguars in their series were not a great record, but still a decent record of 3-11. Again, considering that we started off 0-8, we were 500 at this point in the second half of the season. 3-3, and then we lost our final two games. Firstly, at home against the Titans, 30-24. Player stats here. Jake Locker, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Blaine Gabbert, 207, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Both quarterbacks improving on their completion percentages from last time. Darren McFadden led this game in rushing, 20 carries, 94 yards. Sean Green, 22 for 87. I think the reason McFadden turned it up as the season went on is because he knew his contract was up and he wanted to get some dollar bills this offseason. Justin Blackman, 6 catches, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nate Washington led the way for Tennessee, 6 catches, 68 yards. Defensively, Thomas Howard led the game. Also, former Jacksonville Jaguar Paul Posluszny with 10 tackles. Darrell Washington, 8 tackles for him. Though I do not regret that Posluszny trade at all. Sacks, none in this game. Picks, 3 in this game. 1 for Werner, 1 for Gratz, and 1 for McCourty. Kicking, Josh Scobie, 1 for 2. Baronis, 1 for 2 as well. Punting the ball, boom. Anger gets back on top. Very impressive 48 yard per punt average. Kick returns, we gave up a touchdown. Mark Mariani, though it did not affect the outcome of the game a whole lot, he definitely got a 101-yard kick return on us. That sucks. Punt returns, boom, and that is that. Box score, as you can see, we lost the rushing battle, not by a lot. Passing battle, almost even. We did lose the turnover battle, however, giving up the kick did not help either. And I guess, actually, you know what? I thought it was a 2-score game, 30-24. That kick return was the difference, and that sucks. This game going into OT, the Jaguars almost come out on top, though it might have been actually a good thing we didn't win that game, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Colts, meanwhile, the host of our final game this season, 14-7 the score. This game was started by Matt Scott. Blaine Gabbert has been hot this season at times, has been cold this season at times. So we put in Matt Scott, 225 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, was sacked twice, completed 51% of his passes. Not a terrible game for Matt Scott, but didn't do much to go up and try to grab that spot for next year. Andrew Luck, meanwhile, was bad, 123 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Running the ball, Ahmad Bradshaw was stellar. 17 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Darren McFadden, 22 for 78, is decent. Receiving-wise, Dwayne Allen, 6 catches, 48 yards, leading the way for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jordan Shipley, 5 for 40. Taylor Thompson, 4 for 42. And Cecil Shorts, 4 for 54. Defensively, Kelvin Shepard led the way with 12 tackles. Darrell Washington with 8 sacks. Meanwhile, 2 for Lawrence Sidbury, 1 for Thaddeus Gibson. INTs, 2 for Jonathan Cyprin, rookie sensation, and 1 for Darius Butler. Kicks, Josh Scobie and Adam Vinatieri went 0 for 1. Anger actually gets destroyed in this one. Pat McAfee really taking it to him. 3 yards per punt over. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. On to the box scores for our final game of the year. We got hosed in the rushing category. We dominated in the passing category, but just nothing doing. Just nothing doing when you can't stop the run. We did win the time of possession battle, but in a close game, wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough. So that is our season, folks, in terms of box scores. Let's go over to the season stats now. Recap all of those. I'm going to also take some of those stats and reflect them in the PDF as well, because one of the things that Madden doesn't do is let you see your players' previous season stats, or players' season stats season by season. It just loops them all into the career stats, which is frustrating. Blaine Gabbert, not a stellar season. Blaine Gabbert did actually finish as one of the top passers in the entire NFL in terms of yardage, and please keep in mind that he was able to do that in just 15 starts, because he did not, in fact, start his last start. That was Matt Scott that played the whole game. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Finishing 11th. Had he started that game, got his average output, which is about 230 yards-ish, that would have had him sitting at 3,900, which would have had him sitting right between Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger in 6th. So, hey, you're in decent company when you're with the guys named Brady and Roethlisberger in the NFL. With that being said, though, Blaine Gabbert, as good as his passing totals were this season in terms of yardage, touchdowns just 15, an average of 1 per start, not good enough. Interceptions, he only threw 5 in the first half of the season. He threw 8 in the second half. 8 is too many. That's 1 a game. Not acceptable. And his completion percentage, under 50. Brutal. Not good enough. And so some people have been commenting on the videos saying, man, you got to get a rookie quarterback. Some people have been saying, keep Blaine Gabbert as a backup. I think that because especially Blaine Gabbert is under contract next season, for just $1.8 million, actually a lot of which is guaranteed. I don't see any sense in getting rid of him for next year. I think he should come back next year, maybe or maybe not as the starter, depending on who else is out there in free agency. In terms of the draft, I think we need to take some time this offseason, ponder that. Maybe he comes back as the starter, but on a very short leash. Honestly, yet to make my mind up about that. Rushing the ball, Darren McFadden finished the season stronger than he started it, that's for sure. Still less than 4 yards per carry, which is awful. However, he did get up to almost 700 yards, 3 touchdowns. Would have helped if he hadn't gotten hurt constantly. Denard Robinson, 3.1 yards per carry, not good enough. Blaine Gabbert, 79 yards for a mobile quarterback. That's a disappointing number, in my opinion. Should be much higher. Fumbles, 4 for McFadden, 5 for Robinson. Obviously, a big issue if Denard Robinson is fumbling that many times on that few carries. Though McFadden wasn't much better. Receiving-wise, I was very, very pleased with the play of our receivers this year, particularly how young a lot of these guys are. Cecil Short's just 25, Justin Blackmon just 23, Muhammad Massaquoi just 26. These cats are young players. However, with that being said, very, very, very pleased with them. Blackmon, 81 catches. That's a team lead. 1,033 yards, 6 touchdowns. Short, 79 catches, 1,185 yards, 2 touchdowns. Massaquoi, 51 for 580 in the slot, 3 touchdowns. Shipley kicking in 25 for 260. This is the disappointing number to me. Taylor Thompson, just 24 catches, 180 yards, 1 touchdown, though he missed half the season. Those numbers are still not strong enough down the stretch. Ryan Otten, 22-202 from the secondary tight end spot. Though those numbers are low as well because he was the primary tight end for the first half of the season while Thompson was out. McFadden, 160. Robinson, 177 yards out of the backfield. And that be that. To put it in perspective, in the NFL, the entirety of the NFL, because I do want to look at just a couple of these stats in regards to the entire NFL. You can see, obviously, Wes Welker ran away with the league lead in terms of catching numbers. But if we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is Shorts, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. There we go. So Justin Blackmon, 26th in the league. Cecil Shorts, 13th in the league. Nice job by both of them fitting in the top. Because, if you think about it, this is a weird thing to say, I guess, but if you just average it out, every team should have one guy in the top 32. Well, we had 2 guys who had 1,000-yard receiving seasons, which isn't something to shake a stick at. Not a lot of guys do that in the NFL. Darrell Washington had a league-leading 193 tackles, which was stellar. His tackles his tackling total surpassed everybody else's by 21. And he actually, I looked it up, the real NFL record for tackles in a season was 195. Darrell Washington almost eclipsing that this season, as you can see. We didn't have anybody close to the league lead in sacks. However, check this out. If we go down the interceptions list, about 5 guys, guess who? Rookie Jonathan Cyprin, 5 picks. Right up there with some pretty outstanding names. You got guys by the name of Charles Tillman and Terrell Roll. You got guys by the name of Sam Shields. You got guys by the name of Champ Bailey, a future Hall of Famer, in with our strong safety rookie sensation. Pretty exciting stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. To fill out the rest of the team in terms of tackles was 91 for rookie Xavier Gooden. Very, very, very good numbers. Demetrius McCray with 87. Cypern with 78. Blake, 67. Linval Joseph, 61 from the defensive tackle spot is ridiculous. He is going to get paid this offseason. Hello, Dwayne Gratz, 60. Jesse Williams, 52. Again, a huge number from the defensive tackle spot. Moving on, sacks. We had 6 from Gooden, 6 from Gibson, 4 from Stanford, 4 from Wynn, 2 from Washington, 2 from Branch. I'd like to see more from our ends. Also, I forgot to mention this stat, which is probably the most impressive thing this entire team's done. 24 tackles for a loss for Linval Joseph on the year. Again, as I said, he's going to get paid money, sticking around on a huge contract. Jonathan Cypern, 5 interceptions. Blake Gratz kicking 2. Gooden, Harris, and McCray each kicking 1. And I think that's where we'll leave that. Kicking, Scobie, 27 for 33. Good enough to come back next year. Punting the ball, Anger, 122 punts. That's too many for a team to be giving a punter. But he did have a nice average, 46.5. Kick returns, meanwhile, Shipley, decent, of 25. Sanders, 24. DeRobinson, 24. Punt returns, boom. So those are our season stats. Some of them put into perspective with the rest of the NFL. Good stuff as far as I'm concerned. For the most part, there are some disappointing things, some things we need to work out, but that's okay. We're going to have time to work those things out as time goes on. Again, this season was just about getting our feet wet, getting as many young and talented players as possible. On to the league awards now. Colin Kaepernick of the 49ers wins the MVP award for the 2013 NFL season. Rodgers, Breeze, Peterson, and Brady round out the top 5. Hey, there's nothing wrong with those names. All huge, bona fide NFL stars on that list. Let's quickly go over to the NFL here just so we can check out the Coach of the Year. That is Chad Masters of the New England Patriots, who went 14-2. AFC awards. Offensive Player of the Year, Wes Welker. Peyton Manning finishes 2nd. Ahmad Bradshaw finishes 3rd. And guess who we have at the bottom here? Blaine Gabbert. Despite the fact that his team was 13-3, finishes 10th, which I find shocking, but kind of cool at the same time. Von Miller, to me, this is the biggest slap in the face ever. Darrell Washington obviously being penalized in the voting because his team finished just 3-13, but my God, when the man makes 193 tackles, give him the freaking award. Screw you, Von Miller. Offensive Rookie of the Year, E.J. Manuel. We had Denard Robinson finish 6th in voting there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Barkevius Mingo there. Xavier Gooden, who had 91 tackles from the outside linebacker position as a rookie, not there. Jonathan Cypher, who had 5 picks from the strong safety position, wasn't there. Demetrius McCray also finishing in 9th. Best QB, Peyton Manning. You can see the rest of the names on there. Blaine Gabbert finishing in 9th. I guess just because he had a lot of yardage. Stephen Ridley named the best running back. That's a bit of a shocker. Ahmad Bradshaw, again, not another huge name. Maurice Jones-Drew, the former Jacksonville Jaguar, finishes 5th. The Raiders went 10-6 this season. I find that shocking. But hey, good for the Raiders. Though it does hurt our pick that we got from them. Wes Welker, obviously the best wide receiver. When you catch that much yardage, it's going to happen. Justin Blackman finishes 5th. Justin Blackman 6th. Cecil Shorts finishes 8th. Nice job for both those guys. Offensive lineman Nate Solder leading the way for the New England Patriots. Nobody on the list from us. Defensive line, same thing. J.J. Watt leads the way for the Texans. No Jaguars on this list. Defensive backs, same thing. Actually, no. I apologize. Jonathan Cypern, rookie sensation, leading the way. I find it funny that Jonathan Cypern is the only defensive rookie on this list that I can see. And yet he's not he barely got consideration for defensive rookie of the year. I don't understand it. Anyways, Justin Tucker named the best kicker. Josh Scobie finishing in 8th. We'll just blitz through the NFC. Shows I got a cough here. I apologize for that. Coming down with something. Adrian Peterson wins Offensive Player of the Year on the NFC side of things. I'll let you guys read the rest of the names as we go through. Defensive Player of the Year, Trent Cole. That's a bit of a shocker. Of the Philadelphia Eagles, just 5-11 on the season, so a bad record. Yet they take it. You can also see all the records for the teams here. That we will go to the player stats, or probably the team standings, just a little later. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Matt Barkley, who I guess led the way for the Eagles. Man, a lot of love for the Eagles on this on these lists. I don't really understand. Again, a 5-11 team. Another 5-11 team, Arizona Cardinals. Kevin Minter wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Best quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Duh. Adrian Peterson wins Best Running Back. Duh. Calvin Johnson wins Best Wide Receiver. Duh. Best Offensive Lineman, Mikey Iapudi. Three San Francisco 49ers in the top 3 voting. Hey, nice job for them. Anthony Spencer named the best defensive lineman. His line mate, DeMarcus Ware, finishing second in voting. Defensive back, Casey Hayward. That's a bit out of left field. But hey, good for Hayward. And best kicker, Blair Walsh of the Minnesota Vikings. Dan Bailey of the Dallas Cowboys finishing right behind him. So those are our awards. Let's go on to the Pro Bowl voting now. We do have some Jaguars in the Pro Bowl, which is nice. Here we go, AFC. Let's run this down quick. Manning, Brady, Schaub, the quarterbacks. Running backs, Ridley, Bradshaw, and Johnson. Fullbacks, Lonnie Pryor, and guess who? Will Johnson. Beauty with 25,000 votes. Just, approximately 1,875,000 votes less than Wes Welker. Will Johnson gets into the Pro Bowl. Wide receivers. So that's one Jaguar. Receivers, Welker, Johnson, Green, Wayne, Jenkins, Dobson, Cribbs, and Breeston. Tight ends, Dreesen, not to be confused with Breeston. Daniels and Gates, left tackles. Roos and Solder, left guards. Mankins and Petrus. Center, Wendell and Swanky. Right guards, Vasquez and Connolly. Right tackles, Stewart and Vollmer. Left ends, the Texans, J.J. Watt, Bills, Mario Williams. Right ends, Dolphins, Deion Jordan, Sean Phillips. Defensive tackles, Casey, Adkins, and Williams. Linebackers, we got Miller, Houston, Ellerby, and guess who? Darrell Washington. He didn't quite get enough tackles for the first middle linebacker spot, apparently, but he got the second spot. Woodyard and Mingos. That's 2 Jags so far. Corners, McCourty, Hayden, Werner, and Toller. Free safety, Bethia and McCourty. Strong safety, Ward, and guess who? Jonathan Cypern. Rookie sensation. That's 3 Jags. 3 Jags. Tucker and Koch lining that out. Koch or Koch? I don't know. People say that both ways. NFC, Breeze, Rodgers, Kaepernick, Peterson, Martin, Forte, Wilson, Miller, DeMarco, Johnson, Cobb, Smith, White, Colston, Bolden, and Thomas. Tight ends, Graham, Witten, and Olsen. Offensive line, Staley, Okung, Iapudi, Grubbs, Khalil, De La Puente, Evans, Boone, Lodeholt, Davis. Defensive line, Spencer, Campbell, Ware, Ansah, Babineau, Floyd, Melton. Linebackers, Harrelson, Perry, Fletcher, Minter, Cole, Smith. Defensive backs, Winfield, Tillman, Hayden, Hayward. Safeties, Rhodes, Burnett, Moore, Jennings. Kicker, Blair Walsh. Punter, Tim Masthay, man. Just kidding. That's that. I will quickly run down the standings, and here's where our record becomes pertinent. We finish the season at a lowly 3-13. It's not 1-15 bad, or heaven forbid 0-16 bad, but 3-13 is pretty bad. Let's quickly run through all of the divisions so we see who makes the playoffs. Ravens, only team coming out of the AFC North, 10-6. Rest of the division, pretty sad. Bengals just 4-12. That's really bad for a real-life playoff team. AFC South, Titans lead the way, 11-5. The only playoff team, Texans and Colts, sitting at home with us. These playoffs. AFC East, Patriots take it, 14-2. Bills, Dolphins, and Jets all well under 500. That means 3 teams coming out of the AFC West. Broncos 11-5 take the division. Raiders and Chargers make the wild card, 10-6 and 8-8. Chiefs just missed the playoffs at 7-9. NFC North, Packers and Lions going to the playoffs. Packers 11-5, Lions 10-6. Vikings and Bears sitting at home with 8-8 records. Too bad, so close. Saints 11-5. Panthers sitting at home with a 9-7 record. Wow, NFC dominating this year. Buccaneers 8-8, Falcons 7-9. Cowboys win the NFC East 9-7. Wow, they need to make a video game just for the Cowboys to make the playoffs. Badum, psh. Redskins, Giants 8-8. Eagles 5-11. NFC West, 2 teams make it again. Big shock. 12-4 49ers, 11-5 Seahawks, Rams finished 6-10, Cardinals 5-11. And that means, folks, if you've been keeping track, check this out. Jacksonville Jaguars, worst record in the league. Yes! Why is that a good thing? Well, folks, that is a very good thing. Reason being, just wait till we get that first overall pick. We finished low in the NFL in terms of points for. Points against, we actually finished 4th worst. So we have some work to do there. I won't get in the rest of this because I think it would be fairly redundant given what we've already covered. But that's standings on a player progression, roster moves. As I said, we made just 2 signings: Jared Gaither, Casey Studdard. Their information is in the spreadsheet. I will just briefly gloss over that for that reason. However, they are newcomers to the team at left tackle and left guard because of the injuries to Monroe and Bailey and Rackley. But let's quickly run through our squad. We have a lot of very impressive progression that's taken place. Gabbert came to us as a 74 overall 23-year-old quarterback. By midseason, he was up to 79. Now he's up to 84. The biggest reason for that has been his awareness growth up to 88. Came to us with 67 awareness, got it up to 80, now up to 88. His accuracy is always a bit of a work in progress. We've got it up to 86, 86, 82, 74. However, there's a lot of work left to be done. Much better than when he first got here. It was 83, 72, 69. But still a lot of work to do, and that's basically the reason why he struggled down the stretch. Matt Scott, meanwhile, came to us as a 68-year-old, 68 overall, 22-year-old undrafted quarterback out of Arizona. Now he's up to 82, a 14-point growth, which is pretty impressive. He lacks throwing power a little bit. His accuracy still not very good. But his awareness up to 84. It was 42 when he got here, so we've literally doubled it. Mike Kafka, we haven't really brought along because he won't be back, and that's a running theme. Some of our players we did not upgrade if we knew they weren't going to be back. Darren McFadden, for instance, up to 85. Mid-season, he was 82. Came to us as an 86, so he bounced back a little bit. We haven't been upgrading him because he won't be back. Denard Robinson, up to 79. Came to us as a 65. Got him up to 75 by mid-season. Now up to 79. Jordan Todman will not be back as well. He goes up from a 72 to a 73 in the second half of the season. Fullback, Will Johnson, up to 87. Started the season as a 70. Got him up to 80 by the mid-season mark. Now up to 87. 17-point growth overall. Phenomenal. I should also show you, I guess, if you want to. I guess I can also show you why. His awareness up to 85 was 60 when he first came to us. Then on top of that, his run blocking and his impact blocking has been stellar. If I can actually freaking find it. Here we are. Run blocking up to 84. He came to us with run blocking of 77. His impact blocking up to 85 was 81 when he got to us. We've also upgraded his stamina a little bit. I think he could be a wonderful fullback. We're going to have to re-sign him this season. Also, as we go through these, I'm going to talk just a little bit about different players' contractual situations, guys who are bringing back, guys who are not bringing back. Kafka and McFadden and Todman all have contracts expiring, will likely all be let go. The only guy we've covered so far who should be brought back despite having a contract that's expiring, fullback Will Johnson, who hopefully we can get for not too much money. Wide receivers now, Justin Blackman up to 91. Blackman came to us as an 83 overall player, was 91 by midseason, is still 91, but we have upgraded his catching since. The issue is he's so good now, his catching, different things, so difficult to upgrade. We got just one catching upgrade, one catching and traffic upgrade. We've also worked on his route running, his release. However, he's already so dominant. We've got his awareness up from the midseason point as well by 3, but it's just going to be tough from here on out to get him better because he's already stellar. Cecil Shorts up to 90 overall, came to us as an 83, was 86 at midseason. Again, working on those same things with him as catching. Was just 89 and 83 at the midseason mark. We got those up by 3 points cumulatively. Little speedster, my goodness. The acceleration speed is so great on this cat. His awareness up 2 from the midseason mark to 85. Massaquoi worked on that with him as well. In addition to his hands, he does not have the same hands. He's got decent hands. At the midseason mark, he had 85 catching ability, up from 78 to start the season, now up to 88. So a 10-point swing overall for him. Catching in traffic, we got that up 1 point over the course of the season, doing our best. With him, there's been a lot of route running and release things as well. Though his release is still struggling, though. For guys in the slot, that's not as big of a deal. Ace Sanders has been a huge project for this team. Sanders, the little guy, just 23 years old out of South Carolina, 79 overall, started this season at a 73, was 78 at the midseason mark. I'm still not sure if he's really worth bringing along. His catching, we've got it up to 80. It started at 76. But the issue for him is his route running and his release were both in the 50s when he got here. We've got his route running up to 80. Particularly for a guy like Sanders who'd have to play in the slot, that's a really, really important thing to get done. But his release is still terrible. His jumping isn't very good. His speed is lacking. Don't know if he'll be back. He has 3 more years on his contract, but not a lot of guaranteed money. And I'd like to bring in guys, particularly Shipley. Shipley does not have a year left on his, or maybe he does, actually. I don't think I have his information recorded in front of me. I will have to fix that. Maybe I have it filled in. Hold on. I just need to quickly arrange my documents here. Shipley, no, I do not have his contractual information in front of me. I should be able to actually check it out right here, though this is a pain in the butt. I apologize for not having this information in front of me. His contract, and I can add it to my document right here. Yeah, he's got 1 year remaining, so he is under contract for next year for $700,000. Because keep in mind the season has expired, but and half of it's guaranteed. So to cut him, we'd have to burn $350,000. Might be worth it, might not. I'd like to keep Shorts, Blackman, and Massaquoi as our top 3 options. If that's the case, it might be wise just to bring in somebody else. Though he did experience some nice growth, up to 78. Started the season off poorly. I think was just a 72. Though I don't have that in front of me either. Shipley, who we originally, the reason I don't is because we originally wanted to cut Shipley, decided to keep him as depth. Taylor Price will not be back. We did not upgrade him over the season. Tight ends, Taylor Thompson, up to 83, came to us as a 78 overall player whose catching was 67. Over the course of the season, we got that up to an impressive mark of 82. His catching in traffic was also in the toilet. We've caught that up since to 78. His awareness was terrible when he got here as well. Was just 52. Because he is such a young guy, the reality is if I could ever find his awareness, because awareness is in a different spot in all these places, we got that up to 80, which is great. Again, a big swing of 28 points. Very impressive. Ryan Otten behind him, another big, speedy guy, up to 77 overall from 71 at the beginning of the season and 76 at the midway point of the season. Otten has some decent hands. We're 81 at the midway point. We've got them up to 84. Catching in traffic of 81. Decent. We need to work on his run blocking, particularly if he's going to be playing the second tight end spot. But that's okay. Derek Carrier, project player, came to us shortly after the start of the season when we were able to cut a couple guys who had been injured. He's progressed a little bit up to 77 from 76. For him, the biggest thing is working on his catching ability, which was very poor when he got here, just 73. We got up to 78. His awareness was also 66 when he got here. We got that up. Just a matter of getting him there because his acceleration, his agility, his speed are wide receiver-like. He's got that stuff in a tight end's body. Allen Reisner not upgraded because he will not be back. Eugene Monroe up to 89 from 87 at the beginning of the season. Still at the same same place as he was at the end of the or at the midway point of the season. We have since upgraded him a little bit. We've got his run blocking up to 90 from 88. With that being said, though, when a guy's just this good as Eugene Monroe is, particularly because he didn't play, he would have had more points had he actually been able to play. But he was injured, of course, for a large part of the last half of the season. So he was not available, didn't gain any points as a result. Aside from what we got in practice, of course, Jared Gaither brought in as a backup. His information's on the spreadsheet, though it's not terribly important. Marcel Jones up to 74 from 66 at the beginning of the season and 73 from the midway point of the season. His pass blocking when he came to us was 67, and it was 80. We got up to 84. His run blocking was 67. We got that up to 75. So just working on him. His awareness was also terrible when he got here at 60. Now it is up into the 80s. Alvin Bailey finishes the season on the IR, sitting at 81 overall. He started the season at 70 overall, was just 74th midway point, now up to 81. I'm still not totally convinced Bailey is our guy of the future. He's got 84 run blocking, 80 pass blocking. He's got 90 strength. He's got decent speed and acceleration for a left guard. His awareness up to 79 from 45. But if we can find a guy in the draft, we've talked before about a left guard that is available in the draft who could potentially be dominant. We might have to go and find somebody there because, as our running numbers show, we need an upgrade along our offensive line. Will Rackley, age 24, 79 overall. He started the season at 71 overall, was 76 the midway point, up another 3 points from there. His run blocking better. Both of these guys lacked impact blocking, which I think is a part of our running problem. And none of them have dominant strength either. Would like to see strength more in the mid-90s as opposed to just 89 or 90. Casey Stutter was brought in as extra depth, actually started a game while both of our left guards were hurt, though I believe Will Campbell, the backup right guard, filled in there for part of that as well. Jason Slowey up to 81 at the center spot from 71. Was 80 at the midway point of the season, just at 81 now. Not a huge upgrade there. Mike Brewster started the season at 68 overall, 75 the midway point, 77 now. So now there are big leaps in the second half of the season for either of these guys. 81-81 for Slowey, 84-80 in terms of blocking for Brewster. Slowey had just 76 run blocking ability at the beginning of the season. Brewster at 79. So both those numbers going up. But look at that impact blocking. I might have to, I don't know. If we end up keeping our left guards, I feel like we need to upgrade the center spot. I feel like both these guys are great backup centers. Probably not franchise centers, though. Brandon Mosley, one of my favorite players on the whole team, 83 overall at the right guard position. Started the season at 72. Was 81 at the midway point, up another 2 points to 83 at the age of 25. Mosley, such a big dude, 84 run blocking ability, 79 pass blocking ability. When he came to us, his pass blocking ability was just 71, so we're getting that up slowly but surely. His impact blocking decent, but his strength is great. His acceleration is great, which helps him in the run blocking game. His awareness also up to 80 from 52, so we can keep that up. His stamina is also phenomenal for a big man. Love him. Hopefully we can really ignite this offensive line next year with the addition of a dominant rookie center or left guard, or maybe find one in free agency. Who knows? Will Campbell, the backup, up to 77 from 66. He was 74th the midway point, now up to 77. He's an exciting prospect who I really think will grow well underneath Mosley. Right tackle, Luke Jokel, up to 92 overall. Jokel was 92 at the midway point of the season, and kind of in the same vein of Justin Blackman, is just so good, so fast, it's actually hard to upgrade him. It's like the ultimate first world problem. He was up 7 points from 85 to 92 at the midway point of the season, still at 92. Run blocking ability, pass blocking ability started the season at 90, still at 90. His run blocking ability at the very beginning of the season was 85. We've got up to 88, but his impact blocking is so good. Man, his awareness was terrible, but we've got that up to 20 points total, up to 84. Just a dominant player and a guy who's going to be dominant for years to come. Behind him, Cameron Bradley. Unfortunately, Cameron Bradfield. I think we're going to lose him in free agency. I offered him a contract to stay as our backup because he's developed so well for us. He was originally an 80 earlier on. 79, he's regressed because he's hurt. But he wants more than $3 million to stay as the backup, which just is not possible. Even though he's got some really, really great abilities, I don't see him as a big future in terms of a right tackle. I just see him as a quality depth guy. But if you want more than $3 million to be a depth guy, then unfortunately you're going to have to be gone. Mincy, obviously, on IR all season, not upgraded at all. Gibson up to 86 overall. Started the season at 80, was 82 at the midway point, now up to 86. Love it. We just upgraded him to give him a high motor so that we've got some more progression out of him. We've got his finesse moves up. We've got his strength moves up, power moves 84. We need to work on his block shedding a little bit. We need to work on his play recognition. I've been putting points into that this whole time, but it was in the high 30s when we got him. So it's just been a matter of working towards that. But I think he could be a dominant pass rusher for years to come. We've also got his awareness up to 72 from 60. I just need to keep working on those things. His backup, Billy Wynn, who came over in the trade with the Browns, was 65 when he came here, was 71 at the midway point. He stays at 71. Don't really understand that, but his moves are way up. His block shedding's way up. He seems to have the smarts of the game figured out. His awareness is good at 80, up from earlier this season when it was just 70. When it was just 66. Just his overall rating not going up very much. I don't understand it. It might be because we have our system set to be preferring pass rushers, but the reality is with his acceleration, and he is a pass rusher. He's got great moves. Don't understand it. Anyways, on the right ends, Andre Branch was 77 at the beginning of the season, was 82 at the midway point, now 83. Not a ton of progression out of this kid over the course of the season, but we would really like to get him. Also, just a quick note about Gibson before we go any further. Gibson is also an upcoming free agent. We'll need to lock him down. Also, in the middle of the offensive line, Bailey and Slowey, both upcoming free agents. I'm willing to re-sign. Excuse me. That's the second time I've ever sneezed in a video. Depending on what they would like, I would like to have them both back. But, of course, money is always an issue. We don't want to break the bank for guys who may or may not be starting for us. But Branch, we've got his power finesse moves right up. I think, like Gibson, he's just a little bit away from being ready to explode. His hit power is very poor. That's really the only part of his game that has a gaping hole. But as soon as we can get his play recognition up a little more, we can get some of his moves up, I think he can be a dominant pass rusher. Marcus White behind him has quietly become a good player, up from 76, 78 to 80. He's already 26 overall, so I don't know how high his ceiling is, but it's nice to have a pass rusher behind Branch who can play. Now, Marcus White is an upcoming free agent. We'll probably want more money than we're willing to give him, but it'd be wonderful to have him back if he's willing to stay. Linval Joseph has slowly become a dominant defensive tackle. As you saw, more than 20 tackles for a loss this season, up to 92 overall, which is amazing. He started the season at 87, up to 90 at the midway point, 92, just eating people up. Jesse Williams, his right-hand man, or I guess technically left-hand man because that's where he plays. Williams came to us as a 78 overall rookie, was 85 at the midway point, now up to 87. These two dudes are tearing it up. They're huge, both 323 pounds, the same build, strength up the wazoo. We need to work on Jesse Williams' power moves a little bit, but the block shedding is phenomenal. Block shedding for Williams when he got here was 86. We've slowly worked that up to 90. Their tackling is great. For both these cats, their acceleration is amazing. For Joseph, the biggest thing for him has been his stamina. When he came here, his stamina, I can't remember if it was in the low 60s or the high 50s, but it was terrible. We've pumped almost, really all his points into his stamina to get it up to 76. I want to keep working it up so that he's still more effective in late-game situations, but so far so good for that. The rest of the team, Roy Miller finishes the season on the injured list, but he's up to 83 from 80, and then 82 at the midway point. Dieterich started things off at 77, was 80 at the midway point, up to 81. Really glad that we locked up those guys. Dieterich especially, long-term. We got him under contract for very cheap for the next 3 seasons, which is great to serve as depth at that spot. Stanford at the left outside linebacker position started the season at 71 overall, was 77 at the midway point, only up to 78. Kind of disappointed, honestly, in his growth. Not as great as I'd hoped it would be. Stanford was an original Jacksonville Jaguar. We've worked on his tackling a whole bunch. His tackling up to 85, but he's got those great physicals. The speed is great. His strength is great. He's got, I think, a ton of potential. His awareness up to 80 from 62 at the beginning of the season. Look at that acceleration. He's got a great way of flowing to the ball. His block shedding, we've worked on that a lot. Got it up to 80 from 66 at the beginning of the year. His pursuit, where would his pursuit be? 77, not bad. His jumping is off the charts. 97 for a guy who's 6'1", 230. Ridiculous. I don't honestly understand why he's not, just doesn't have a better overall rating. Don't get it. Dakota Washington was 69 when he came to us, was 72 at the midseason point, 73 now. Likely not back with us next season, though we did upgrade him. Washington up to 93. What is there to even say about Darryl Washington? 88 to start the season off, 92 at the midseason mark, 93. He's, I think, the biggest steal in the history of this series in terms of trades. Daryl Washington, if you guys can remember, I have the trade in front of me here. Daryl Washington was traded from the shoot. I'm trying to see it here. Here we go. Was traded from the Arizona Cardinals. In exchange, we gave up Mercedes Lewis, who was 88 overall, 29 years old, and making $6 million a year. We had to pay out $1 extra million per season. But there was $18 million that contract went the other way. Uche Nwaneri, who was a 78 overall, 29 year old right guard, who was making $13.3 million over the next 3 seasons, and a 5th round pick. So 2 aging, overpaid players and a 5th rounder for this cat. And the best part about Daryl Washington is he's under contract for the next 4 years, not including this one, 4 more years. And he is getting paid for the next 4 years. He's making just over $16 million. So just over $4 million for a guy who's leading the NFL in tackles. Steal. What a great deal for us. Pat Anger, his backup, didn't really progress over the season. Maybe it's because he's 26, just turned 27, I guess. But started the season at 73 overall, now it's 74, despite some pretty significant upgrades. But that's okay. Huge upgrade here for Xavier Gooden. Started the season off at 73 overall. As the season went on, was 81 at the midway point, up to 86. Gooden came to us in the trade of the Tennessee Titans, the team to whom we traded Paul Posluszny. His tackling up to 90. Hit power is great. Speed is phenomenal. Awareness up to 82. Was 51 at the start of the season. Acceleration is dynamite. There are things we need to improve with Gooden. His pursuit could be higher. His coverage skills could be a little higher. His stamina could be a little higher, but I think he's a phenomenal right outside linebacker. Stanford on the other side, I think, could use some more progression. However, my goodness, Gooden, and he's under contract. Get this, folks. Xavier Gooden, after this season has expired, he's still got 3 years on his contract, and over those 3 years, we are paying Xavier Gooden just over $1 million because some of his guaranteed money was eaten by the Titans in that trade. So we are paying him peanuts, $350,000 a season to be exact, for the next per season for the next 3 years. For an 86 overall physical freak of a right outside linebacker. Love it. Chris Culliver finished the season on the injured list. He will not be back next season. He's under contract for next year. However, given that we have an amazingly talented corner, we're set to pick first overall in the draft. Culliver likely to be traded, and the best part is we gave up a 5th and a 7th to get him from San Francisco. Now that he's 87 overall, I feel as though, and 90 man coverage, I really feel like he's going to earn a pretty penny on the market. Probably not a first round pick, but probably a decent player and a 4th rounder or just a 2nd rounder. Could be a really nice trade for us. Dwayne Gratz and Demetrius McCray, 2 rookies, 85 overall, both of them. Started the season off at 77 and 73, respectively, both up to 85. Credit McCray, from 73 to 85 in one season. Pretty phenomenal stuff. We've worked on their man coverage a lot. We've worked on their press abilities to a degree. They're both decent-sized corners, 5'11" for Gratz, 6 feet for McCray. So it's nice to have that added ability to run press coverage. They've both got great physical ratings and abilities. Neither have dominant speed, but that's okay. It's good enough, and both their awareness up into the 80s now. Love it. The rest of the way for these guys, and also the best part about those 2 guys, both under contract for the next 3 seasons. This gentleman, Chris Greenwood, was a guy we brought in mid-season as a developmental guy. Came to us as 76 overall, the midway point of the season, now up to 79. He's 6'1", 193, great physicals. He's got a lot of work to do on his technique, but I think he's worth keeping around. 96 speed, 94 acceleration, 98 jumping. This cat just has crazy physical abilities. He does not have a contract for next season, so we'll have to re-sign him, but we should have the room to do that quite easily. Mike Harris and Jeremy Harris both came into the season in the high 60s, now up to 77 each. Depending on whether or not we have room for them next year, I'd like to have them back. They're both young, 25 and 23 respectively, and both of them starting to get some nice cover skills. Man coverage in the mid to high 80s. Both of their awareness ratings up there. The one thing I don't like about these two guys is that Mike Harris is just an 86 in terms of his speed, which really means he could only ever play in the nickel spot. And he is one of our older guys at 25. If we're going to have a project player, it'd be nice to bring Harris along as opposed to Mike Harris. Pardon me, I should say Jeremy Harris as opposed to Mike Harris. Might be worth getting rid of one of those guys just to eliminate the confusion with the Harris thing. But as we go, Antoine Blake, 86 overall, up from 70 at the beginning of the season. 16 points upgrade, was 82 in the middle of the season. Antoine Blake is another one of those guys who just has physical abilities up the wazoo. We've got his zone coverage up from 73 to 85 over the course of the whole season. His man coverage at 75 is better than most safeties. That was a stock number. His tackling is up to 65, was, I think, in the mid-40s when he first took him over. So he's done a lot of work there. Still needs to get better, but we're working on it. His awareness up to 85 was 43 when he got here, which is the biggest thing we've had to work on with him. I think he could be a phenomenal safety for sure in this league. Josh Evans, his backup, 66 overall at the start of the season, 76 the midway point, up to 79. I think he's a very competent backup. His zone coverage up to 84, which I love. He's also his awareness up to 84. Impressive stuff. Strong safety, Jonathan Cyprin. This is the crown jewel of this team. 94 overall. 73 when the season started, up to 94. A swing of 21 points overall. Man coverage, zone coverage, sick. He's got block shedding ability. He's got power moves. He's got tackling ability, hit power, jumping. He can catch 5 picks this season. He's got great acceleration, great awareness. My good, there's nothing this dude cannot do from the safety spot. And on top of all that, 93 injury, 92 stamina. Love. Chris Brzezinski is under contract for next season. Very little guaranteed money. Probably won't be back. Probably looking to get somebody better as the backup there. Josh Scobie will be back. He's under contract for 2 more years at the kicker spot. And Brian Anger, same thing. Both those guys started the season off decently at 89, 83 overall, respectively. Now up to 90, both of them. Picks, here we go. And here's the official list of our picks and where they all come in. We have the first overall pick of the 2014 draft. Barring some type of craziness, we will be selecting that corner that we talked about last episode, first overall. We have the Oakland Raiders' 26th pick in the draft. Pardon me, not their 26th. We have the Oakland Raiders' first pick, which is the 26th pick in the draft. We have the 33rd, 65th, 97th, 116th. And then look at that. Lots of picks, lots of decisions to make. Very exciting stuff to take a look at. And that actually will wrap up the video. We've covered everything we want to cover. The only thing left is scouting. We're going to cover all that next Monday, right before the draft. Catch you up for that, which is exciting. It's a reason for you guys to come back, reason for you guys to check out episode number 4 in a week from today. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the team. Who should be back? Who should not be back? Who do you guys love? Who do you guys hate? What are my best moves? What are my worst moves? Please let me know. Your insight is what makes this fun for me. So until next time, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Tuxedo T-Shirt, and I'm out.